Good morning, everybody. Chris Schultz here. I'm going to take you through a tutorial video here on how to create your Google Meet remote classroom. And there's a couple different steps to it. So if I end up going a little too fast, you can always rewind this and continue watching again. And then you do know that I am here to help in case you have any questions. So to get started, the screen I'm sharing with you is a Bitmoji classroom. You may have heard of these before. You do not have to have a Bitmoji classroom. I'm just trying to be a little fancy here. But the reason why I have a place already set up here, this slideshow, is because eventually, once I get my link, I want to keep it somewhere that I easily get to. I can easily share it with my students. I can easily push it out through my LMS. So I've chosen to do it through a slide here. You could easily do it through an Excel sheet, and I'll be showing you that as well. All right, so really to get started with our Google Hangout and creating that one place, basically your virtual classroom where students and you can always go to. And we're going to be starting with the calendar. Now, you know that the Google Hangout Meet and your calendar work really, really well together. And we're going to use that advantage of them working well together to create this virtual classroom. Um, if you were just to create a virtual classroom out of just going through your tiles up here and then recreating it, you can name it. What would eventually happen is the URL, which is this piece up top here, would change. Even though the name stayed the same, this would change all the time, and students would have to be constantly typing in your name. Works probably just as fine for older students, but this is a nice kind of level K-12 where all the students will have to do is just click on it. And this tiny little bit of extra work right now in August should really help us going for as long as we're going to need this. So we're going to start over here on the left side of my screen, and you'll see all of my calendars. And when I come down to other calendars, you'll see the plus sign. And that's where we're going to start because we're going to actually add a calendar, okay? And that calendar is just going to be kind of living in the background. And through that calendar, though, we'll be able to have that one link that allows students to get to you in this virtual classroom. Okay, so we're on the left side over here, and I've come down to other calendars. If you can't find it, try this little caret. When I click that little caret, it actually takes the calendars away. You may already have that like that, so you can expand these here if you're having trouble. Okay, so I'm going to come on the plus side and I'm going to click. I'm going to create a new calendar. Okay, it's right here. I'm going to create a new calendar. Now, you can name the calendar whatever you like. It doesn't really matter. The reason why is because this is going to be running in the background. We're only using this calendar to create the meeting link. So I'm going to name it my virtual classroom link. This way it should be nice and easy for me to remember. And in the description, this is where the link for my virtual classroom will live. This is all just for me. No one's ever going to see any of this information. Okay. So when I do that, I'm going to create calendar. So the calendar creation is in progress and it has been made. All right. So when I back out of here and I scroll down now, I should see my virtual classroom calendar. Okay. Link. And that's where I'm going to be working with. Okay. It's gray. And you'll see that it's checked off right here. I can change the color. So I'm going to change it to an obnoxious green, or this is like a sage, just so it really stands out for me for right now. So now, once I have that virtual classroom calendar set, I'm going to create a recurring activity on my calendar. All right. So you'll notice that I'm on August 24th. I always set my calendar to the week here. You can really set this wherever you like, but I'm going to set it on the 24th, and I'm going to come at 6 a.m. Now, the reason why I'm doing it at 6 a.m. is because I'm just going to try and set it off of my calendar so I don't see it constantly. I'm going to show you a little trick on how we can hide it, but I'm just going to leave it at a time where it's not going to really interfere with a lot of other things that are going on through my day, right? As teachers, our day is mostly between 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. right? So I'm going to set it outside of those parameters just to kind of get it out of the way. I could set it for 2 in the morning. I can really set this wherever I need it to go because it's just going to recur. Whoops. It's just going to recur, and we're just using this to get the link. So if I click right here, it's going to have my no title. All right. So the first thing I'm going to pop down here is I'm going to go right into more options because I'm going to need my more options. Okay. So here are my more options. The title of this is going to be virtual classroom link. Okay, just going to name it that. As I come down here, here's a very important thing. I'm setting this for 6 a.m. I'm going to turn off the notification. I do not want to have a notification at 5:50 every morning that the virtual classroom link comes up. I'm going to turn this off just simply by Xing that out. So there's going to be no more notification. I don't need a notification. I'm simply using this to just get the link. Okay. So that notification is off. Here's a trick. Here's my calendar here, right? I want to link this with that new calendar that I just made. So when I click on this, it shows me all of the calendars that I have created. If you have been using Google Classroom at all, you'll see a lot of those clusters you have in there. Okay, you'll see a lot. For me, these are some of our admin team calendars, some practice or classrooms that I've been working with. Okay, but when I come down, I'm looking for my virtual classroom link. Okay, this is an important step. You do have to do this. So I'm looking for that, my virtual classroom link, because you remember that was the calendar that I just created. So when I click on this, you'll notice that it picked up on that obnoxious green color. Okay, so I'm good there. Now, I'm going to come up here, add Google Meet video conferencing. When I click on this, it will create that room. So if you can, zoom in on their screen here, you'll see that it's QNR, MOKT, RZR. All right. You'll notice, and we'll come back to this, that won't change as this moves forward. And that's what's most important, is that the URL never changes. This way we have that consistency for the students to continue to just click every day that they need to go to. One thing is that I want this to repeat. So I'm going to come up here to go to does not repeat. I need to change that. And I like to come down and do the every weekday, Monday to Friday. This is really just going to guarantee that this doesn't go anywhere. Technically, your Google Hangout Meet links expire after 90 days, right? We're just going to make sure no matter what, because we're living in such a time of uncertainty that I'm going to, if I can make sure something works, I'm going to make sure something works. So I'm going to click on that here. And when I do that, I made a mistake. I want this to come to custom because I want to set a time for this to end. Okay. So because I clicked on Monday through Friday on that last page there, it already clicks for me here. I can change this if I want, right? But I'm going to leave it as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There's no need to worry about Saturdays and Sundays. When does it end? Well, it ends on, I'm going to set it to end on June 15th. I have no idea what this world is happening, so I'm just going to send it for the end of the school year. This will recur every day till the end of the school year, and I'm going to show you in a second how it'll just be living in the background. You probably are just going to even forget that it exists, and that's just fine. When I hit done, so I have my virtual classroom link. It begins August 24th at 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., and then it ends on June 15th. The big part with this, the reason why we have constantly recurring is that when it's constantly recurring, it makes it so we never lose those 90 days and we never lose that link. That's the important reason behind it. So I'm going to save. Now you'll see Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 a.m., this virtual classroom link will appear. If I zoom out to my month view, and I'm going to come down so you see some less clutter. Even in January, there's my virtual classroom link. So here's what I'm going to do. I don't really even want to see that. I'm going to just come over here. Actually, before I do that, my apologies. Before I do that, I'll come back to my week. and I need to get this URL now. All right. I need to get this link. So all I did was just click on, and I could have clicked on any of these activities here. I'm just going to click on one of them. And as I move my mouse over, this copy conference link to clipboard appears. All right. You'll notice that it's QNR, MOKT, RZR. When we first did it. I'm going to copy it. Now, I'm going to come back to that Google slide where I had my virtual classroom. And remember, this is me trying to be fancy. So I have click the Google Meet icon to enter our virtual classroom. Once I click on this, right, I just grabbed that from Google, just did an image search for Google. I come over to my insert link. When I click on that, it'll tell me what do I want. I already copied it from the calendar. So now I'm ready to Control V and paste that right in. And now I'm going to be able to apply that. So now anytime somebody clicks on this, they'll be able to go to that Google Hangout meet. And you'll notice that it's QNR, MOKT, RZR, and that's important. Now I know our principals are going to be asking to be able to mail merge some of these and send them out. So I can just come over to an Excel sheet in the header where it says your virtual classroom link. I can just click the next space down. Wherever your section is, you may have a name running across with your grade and other information. And you might see over in column G here, what is your virtual classroom link? Well, you have that now, right? You have that. You created that. And I can Control V, and there it is. And it lives right there. And you'll notice that it's the blue text color, right? And it has the underline to it. And as all I'm doing here, I'm not clicking anything. I'm just hovering. And when I hover over top of it, it allows me, I can just go right to it. All right. So I'm going to prove something to you. When I come back to my calendar here and I go back to my month view and I click on December of 2020, maybe, virtual classroom link. If I click on that, there's my link, google.com, QNR, MOKT, RZR. And that will be the exact same URL till I tell it to stop, which was in June. And then we'll deal with 2021, 2022 here then. Okay. So if you need any help, you know where I live in this office here. And we'll be going over this on our flex days as well. But I wanted to put this video out ahead of time so that people can start creating that virtual classroom that will never change, and students will be able to just simply click and meet you there. All right. So I hope everyone's doing well, staying safe, and I can't wait to see you all either in person or virtually. Have a good one.